Hello, this is Read, Rant, Repeat, the show where we meet to discuss, dissect, and theorize about the current reads of the Bookmark Besties Book Club. I'm your host, Megan, and this week Arian and I are discussing chapters 31 through the end of Shield of Sparrows by Devney Perry. If you're not up to speed yet, to avoid spoilers, check out our recent episodes to read along and join the discussion. Now let's get into it. Welcome to the club. Well, welcome back. This week we are talking about the last section, the last half of Shield of Sparrows, and very eager to hear what you think because the first half we were only tracking about 3 stars. But the biggest gripes, some of the biggest gripes we had, I think they resolved a bit in the last half. So we'll see how we're feeling. But first I want to recap, I guess, what we were thinking, like what we were predicting was going to happen. If we can remember back to the last episode, what we were predicting was going to happen, because I feel like pretty quickly after we started reading, some of these things were checking off the list, and I was trying to keep track of them all, and I was like, I don't even remember which things were like, yep. So what did we remember from last time?
So it was literally to the T. We said he's the actual prince and she's the queen, and because Xavier, his stand-in, we literally called all of that.
We
And
did.
then the fact that he was like, I saw you jump from the cliff, and I was like, I knew it. He saw her jump from the cliff, and that's why he loved her. Fucking called that shit.
I heard you in my head when I read that part. I heard you going, "It was you." I was like, she was so right. Oh my god.
Like, I mean, that's the only reason to have the cliff scene. Otherwise,
Yeah.
it was just pointless.
Oh my god. That was so on the
Oh my
nose.
god. And know about the guardian being the actual prince, and like, oh,
Yeah.
he said the vows, it's him. So
Yeah, we tracked that. Okay, yeah. So we knew about, the blood and the vow that equaled Xavier or Ransom being the actual Prince Xavier. The bit about Xavier being his stand-in was interesting. Didn't see that, but like I guess it makes. I mean, we did see it, but like the kind of, I guess, history of that being what they had, like a body double, was interesting. And then what was the other? Obviously the cliff scene. I wrote that last time. I wrote that I predicted that the Guardian was some kind of experiment or has a magical affinity. I was trying to figure out the Lissa bit of things, and we have answers to that now. But I was like, I had a feeling that the Guardian was like, yeah, some kind of experiment that like went wrong and wasn't quite right, but kind of on that track. So.
I mean, he got
Um,
bit and something happened. So
Right, but we were kind of on to the thought that like the whole thing was centered around people like other kings or whatever, like trying to get their hands on whatever the Guardian was. So that tracked. But okay, well, we went right into some of the answers in this back half of the book. Um I'll wait to hear your final judgment until the end. But first things first, we find out that the Guardian is in fact Xavier Ransom Wolf is his full name, and
mhm.
he is the crown prince. We learn that their kingdom has basically body doubles for their crown prince because of some tragedy that happened a couple generations ago or whatever. But Xavier, who we know as Xavier, is actually his cousin and has
But
been
like,
acting as the prince.
okay. But like, if people know that there's a body double, they know that there's a body double, right?
Yeah, that wasn't like, I felt like that wasn't very clear. Like, does everybody know that that's a thing, or is it
Like,
kind of
'cause
a secret? I don't know.
like it just doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Like,
We fooled
because
you.
I mean, the way it seems is like everyone's in on the secret except her.
Yeah.
And so if people know who the body double is, and that people do body doubles, the prince you see is not the prince.
Yeah, right.
No, it's just like,
I didn't, yeah, I didn't quite get that either. Do you think it would, did it maybe say it was like for outside kingdoms? And maybe it was like everybody in their
oh,
kingdom
maybe.
knew? But still, we know how
Yeah,
well those secrets like actually get kept, you know? They said the
yeah,
same thing
yeah,
about Lissa and the other the city was that like they thought it was secret and everybody else knew about it. So, um
yeah.
yeah, that was very funny. I don't think I by the way, I don't think I took these notes in order. So, um
Eh,
yeah.
it's okay.
So I just put like the main things like as they were happening, but um if something else if I forget something pipe up here. But okay, so yeah, Xavier is his cousin. And okay, so then they painted some kind of weird family triangle of so Xavier is Ransom's cousin. Luella is Evie's mother. And I'll come back to that in a second. So Evie is Ransom's sister, full sister. Evie is also the king's daughter, so it's just she's just secret, like
Yeah,
he didn't know about her.
yeah.
But then Xavier, who is technically Evie's cousin as well, that's how that
Yes,
works.
but acts as her dad.
But is her
Because,
dad, as
so
far as he
Evie,
knows. Yeah.
yeah, Evie's legitimate to the throne because it's from, but the king just wants to kill the mom because she was unfaithful, but it's still both their kids. And he doesn't
Right.
like Evie because she was unfaithful.
Yeah, and so I forget. I think I couldn't remember. Does the king know about Evie? Did they confirm that, or is she
I
actually
don't think,
successfully hidden?
I don't know, because the way that Ransom was saying, he's like, if he does, he hasn't said anything or done anything, but I know. But then it also seemed like he would kill her if he knew or something.
Yeah. Okay. I because
It's very
I
vague.
yeah I thought maybe he had said something at the final like altercation, um, about her, but then I was like, did I make that up? I could go look, but I'm not gonna. Um, uh, so Xavier like kind of just claimed Evie as like his adopted child essentially as part of I think their ruse, but also he actually just like loves her. But when we were trying to figure out who Ransom and Evie's mom was this whole time, um, so a big theme in this book is that Odessa doesn't know like what the hell is happening, right? So she's asking all these questions all the time, and we are like along for the ride as she's actively trying to figure out what's happening herself. The scene I thought made me laugh. The scene where she's trying to figure out who his mom is, and the librarian, what's I forget her name. She suspects that it's her and like asks Ransom like, "Oh, is that your mom?" And I was like, "You idiot, it's Luella." Like why like I was like it's so obvious. Of the two women that you're pondering, it's obviously Luella. You had a
Uh,
50-50 shot and you missed. Okay, what else before we get into like the origins of this mystery and then the final altercation? Anything else that like came out?
I don't really have anything other than I was just most hung up on the whole like how do people like the body double thing just really got me in a weird headspace. I was just like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Also like Xavier having sex with Jocelyn. I was just like, in the
Yeah.
open, like just like
I
how long
forgot
was it
about
going to be a
that.
secret for?
That was
Like
right
I don't know,
away.
like I just don't understand. Like the Guardian was like, you're mine, and but then I'm like, why wouldn't you tell her sooner then?
Right. Like
I don't know, it just seemed weird to me.
what was the ruse? I think what she was trying to justify that, you know, he couldn't trust her because he didn't know what her motives were. But also, yeah, it was kind of like, yeah, I don't feel like you needed to drag that out that long.
It Yeah, it would change nothing if you told her immediately after you left.
Yeah. Did
Like what
you
would it do?
right, exactly. Did you suspect um anything fishy with her handmaids or whatever they were up until the point where that was revealed? Did you think that they were weird?
I just didn't care for them. I thought they were pointless
Yeah,
because now she's just sending them back.
right.
I
Yeah,
mean, I
so
knew that I figured they would probably be spies in a way.
yeah. That thought crossed my mind, and that's why I was wondering what you thought, because I didn't dwell on it much though, because I felt like, yeah, the handmaids were there, but I felt like they were just kind of like, eh. And then I was like, okay, is she just using Jocelyn as like were they there just to like lead to that story point, if that makes sense? Like
That's
that
what it
was,
seemed like.
yeah, yeah. But then we find out that they like
That's
there was like a call it a twist, but it was reversed where they were one of them was a spy, Jocelyn, who was actually a soldier just sent to pretend to be her handmaid, and then Brielle, who was her fiance ex fiance Banner's actual fiance. I feel
uh,
I feel like we're in a soap opera.
that's how I feel.
Yeah.
I was just like some of it just seemed really like I'm gonna. The only reason for this is to use it for this, for like scenes. You know what I mean? Like I feel like holding out on telling her that he was the guardian was just used to build up tension for their first together scene,
Yeah.
which it was great.
Yeah.
We love that.
It was yeah, I agree. I think that some of those plot points I feel like were just stand-ins. Um I okay, so then let's talk about this Lissa. So it turns out that the real bad guy the whole time was Luella, his mom, in the sense that she was the one that created it. It was an alchemy creation with her and some other alchemists while she was queen of the castle. She was trying to find a cure, or not a cure, but she was trying to find some kind of way to make, essentially like to make a super soldier, to build an army of super soldiers that could fight the next migration, the Crux that show up in the next migration, because her family was killed in the previous one. So her like motives were, I guess, good. But I think the problem was, right, then Ransom got sick as a baby or got hurt as a baby, and she was worried that he wasn't going to make it. And so she injected him with the serum. And so then he gets these like powers, I guess. And then he gets separately, then he gets bit by the bear wolf, which is what
Yeah.
ultimately makes him what he is. And it's so then any attempts to replicate Lissa, or like the serum, which I guess is different than Lissa. Lissa is what he has as a result of getting bit and having the serum. The serum is what they're trying to fit, like they're trying to replicate. But anyways, that led to, so she made the decision to like inject her son with this super soldier serum, gonna make him Captain America. And then so she made that decision, and then she was also having an affair with the guy that she was doing before she got married to the king. And so I guess order of events was that one of her alchemists betrayed her, told the king that she had injected their son. The king gets all pissed and goes to find her and confront her, and finds her in bed with her boy toy, and then kills him, smashes his face in, I guess. Very, very graphic. Um, and then tries to kill her, and then that's when Ransom walks in and sees him trying to kill his mom. So
And like, yeah.
was he it's hard, it's a hard question to ask, was someone justified to try to kill someone, but like was he justified in his anger?
I mean, I get it. I mean, injecting your baby with some stuff, that's crazy shit.
That's
Like,
why
that's
that's what
like,
Yeah. I was like, if I
maybe we don't do that.
I just wonder like how try to put try to put my head in her head as a mom, right? You have this experimental drug that you're not even sure what it does, and your baby gets an injury, and you're like, yeah, let's go ahead, this is a good idea, just inject him, shoot him
Do
up.
that.
Like
He's
I don't know.
questionable then. Like, that just is some shit you don't do.
that's where I was like, I don't know if I agree with her on that one.
Ugh.
Bad mom.
Bad. Bad, bad, bad.
Oh my god. So yeah, she figures. So since then, she's been trying to figure out the cause, which she deduced is because of the bear wolf bite, is actually what made the serum work. Because without that, the serum just like makes people go crazy and die. Um, so really good that she gave that to her infant son. Um,
Yeah.
so she's trying to figure out what made that work, but then also trying to find a cure because I think she knows that it's ultimately going to kill him. Like he can't sustain it. So she's trying
Yeah.
to do all of this under wraps because nobody knows that it was her except for her girlfriend. But yeah, so that is like the whole and so everybody has heard, like all these other kingdoms have heard that Alisaria made a super soldier serum essentially and are trying to get that to also like help their countries survive the crux. So that's, I guess, the whole big conspiracy that's happening behind the scenes. The only person that knows that the serum itself is not what made the guardian is Luella. So that I feel like that was a I feel like the storyline was good, but I feel like it felt like Captain America. It felt like, okay, everybody's trying
Yeah.
to Hydra's trying to
Make a
duplicate the
super
super soldier
soldier.
serum. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And then you have like at the end the crux being someone that looks like Odessa's, like has her hair, so it's probably her mother.
Yeah, that was the one thing that I did. I was like, okay, I kind of want to know more because that didn't have anything to do with anything else that happened in the
Yeah.
book. And I was like,
So
okay.
then so then, Odessa has gold eyes, and sometimes the Guardian's eyes are gold, just like that brief moment. So I'm like, does that have to do with the crux? And then he was also bit, but she's like fully
Oh my God,
got gold eyes.
do you think that he wouldn't die? He would just turn into a monster?
Maybe. Because remember they were all targeting Odessa?
Yes, I do. Yeah, I wanted to talk about that too. And the bear wolf that bit him, that only has one eye, escaped. He's still out there, but he seemed,
Yeah.
at least in Odessa's descriptions of him, he seemed at least to have some kind of different intelligence. Like he almost was a person running around as a wolf. Um, so that would be very interesting. If yeah, maybe instead of
You turn into they turn into like some sort of creature, and the Guardian's gonna turn into like a dragon or something shit.
uh,
And
dragon
Odessa
shifters in the second
is
book.
like, yes, and she is gonna be like something beautiful. I bet you. She's gonna be something
Beautiful,
like golden and beautiful.
gorgeous, a phoenix.
Love it. Or a sparrow.
So the,
Just like this
uh,
little.
she's this little sparrow, and he's this giant, and we have a donkey and the dragon situation.
Yep.
um,
Oh, you're
what
a girl dragon.
what do you how do you think that the Voster play into that though? Because they clearly know about her mom. They asked her who her parentage was, and then fucked off out of there before anybody could figure out what was going on. Do you think that they know
I feel
about?
like they have something to do with it. I feel like they have something to do with the crux.
Yeah.
Because they're like the creepy things, right? Like the creepy dudes that were like she saw in the
Yep.
beginning and he had magic and like cleaned her hair. Um, I think because she was going through the hallway with the crux and he happened to be there, and they are also associated with like green tinged shit. I'm
Right.
like
Yep.
they've got to be the ones turning people into stuff or something, or they got something to do with it, or it's like some sort of like you didn't fulfill this portion of the bargain, so now you've or whatever they call them, not bargains, like
Yeah. The
their
treaties.
treaties.
Different. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't. So I know that part of the back and forth was that Odessa does not trust them, but
Yeah.
Ransom clearly does. And I don't know which side I'm on. Like I don't know if I don't feel like they can be trusted, but I'm also like it would be
Mm,
really obvious if you just pinned it all on the weird like mysterious magical guys. Like so I don't know. Like how I feel.
I wonder if the crux is actually something deadly, and them being turned into animals is the way to save them. And
Maybe.
like Odessa was created from that, and so maybe she only has like the good portion of it. And her
Yeah.
mom like was gonna die and turned into whatever it was.
Yeah. Do you think that
I
they're
don't know.
gonna that they could pull any sort of like because when so at the very end the twist spoilers for anybody that hasn't read it, don't know why you're listening to this if you haven't, but um at the very end the twist was that Ransom killed the Crux that attacked them, and when he came to because he like hit his head or whatever, when he came to, the Crux that he rammed his sword through was no longer there. It was of the body of a woman that looked pretty much exactly like Odessa. So we assume it to be her mother. Um, that had his sword run through her. So my first thought when I read that was, okay, is this a shifter situation? Do we have shifters in this world that nobody knows about until this point? Because I was like, are the Crux like people? And because they only ever see them every once a generation when they migrate. So I'm like, nothing else is known. I was like, oh, are they shifters? But but yeah, you bring up a good point that if there are other monsters that maybe have second, I don't know, like is there maybe a species of shifters that these monsters all just turn into? I don't know.
It it makes me wonder if like you catch the crux and you're sick for a time, and that's when they had Odessa, and then she died from it, but actually she turned into it, and the only way they turn back is when they die. Almost seems like a
Ah,
spell. You're not released until you're dead. Unless
true.
the king went back on his treaty, and so that's why he got turned into some shit. It's like a curse for not doing things right or something.
Oh,
And it
that's
cursed her,
true.
and he like put it off on her somehow. I just feel like
Yeah,
there's some weird
yeah,
magic shit at play, and it all comes back to him doing some not so good stuff because it makes me wonder how far back it goes, and if it started around the time when their kingdom became like this like golden kingdom.
yeah.
If they did some sort of thing that's caused upheaval in their world.
Yeah. 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 Her father is definitely shady. He's I think something entirely else because yeah, he knows way more than we even realize. Yeah,
He's the
that's
reason for
very
the crux.
interesting. Mhm.
He probably is.
Um
And
so yeah,
did it to his mom or her mom.
yeah, it could be. Well, so the big kind of final act in this book was so the we suspect that the monsters are drawn to Odessa. They mention that. Like that's her suspicion, that's the Guardian's suspicion all throughout their travels. And I mentioned this too. It felt like just monster attack, monster attack, monster attack. And apparently the reason for that is they suspect that the monsters are attracted to Odessa and are attacking where she's at, and they have that big attack that happens with the bear wolves, and they're confronted with the one that bit and turned Ransom again, and that bear wolf just like murks a kid right in front of her. Like I was like that one like took me by surprise. I was like, okay, all right. It's that kind of book.
Right.
Just took him out. But that was like right when it made the comment about how he seemed to like look at her and then like rallied, like put out a rallying cry to the rest of them to like go after her. Um, that's when I kind of was like, it almost seems like that wolf is acting kind of human, or at least like more intelligent. And then we have the two warriors that they brought in from Trial, and they wake up from their like trance and specifically like goes to attack Odessa and says that he's supposed to kill her. So like clearly this
Hmm.
thing is like focused on trying to kill Odessa herself. And then the crux is
I'm gonna
spotted. Okay, give me your theory. Go ahead.
I'm gonna guess it is something that her father has done, and she's gonna find it out, and he's trying to kill her. So it, like, you know what I mean? She's always been ignored and stuff like that. I just feel like he's got something to do with it, and now he's like, okay, go kill her. Like maybe he tried to make a super soldier too, or some
Ah,
shit, or like their family did and found a way, but it turns them into creatures or something. I don't know.
maybe.
Something
Yeah.
weird's happening.
Yeah, her
But
yeah.
I bet her being trying to be killed has to do with the dad.
You think so?
I think so.
Yeah, well, cuz it's everybody, creatures that have Lissa or yeah, I'm thinking back even to that eel. Like that had Lissa as well. The one that like she first encountered. So yeah, all of these creatures that have Lissa seem to be like drawn to her. And then they see the Crux Scout, and that's what they call the first bird monster thing that comes. Um, and it usually comes a couple weeks, maybe even a couple months before the full migration. That's how they know that it's coming. And apparently they see it, and it's super early. Like they wouldn't have seen it till the spring, and it's still the fall. And so they are like freaking out because they've seen the scout. And then the king is like telling them that, and then the Crux attacks. So like this is the bird that they saw attacks their little encampment and just fucking wrecks their shit. Like all of it. Um, so many people died. Luella being one of them, just sliced in half. So that is yeah, that makes me think too. So like they see this Crux early, and is it my assumption is that it came out in search of Odessa because it came and went right to their of all the places it went right to their place. So um
I don't know. That's just so weird. Like it makes me wonder, but it's also like if we start reading the second book, we're gonna like get the first chapter and be like, ah, this is what it is. We've
yeah,
got it.
they're just gonna finish all of the loose ends in the beginning.
Yeah.
uh so really, yeah, really interesting. I wonder because we if we assume that the Crux, if it is her mom, was after her because it's her mom, then why were all the other monsters after her? Or does that have to do with anything? I don't know.
Maybe she's the cause of it, like her bloodline, and that's maybe the father actually killed her,
Yeah.
and she's there. I don't know. Who knows? So many cliffhanger.
Cliffhanger. Okay, so that was my the plot twist that I had been hearing about happening like right at the end. I think is it was alluding to that last final like epilogue scene where we're from Ransom's point of view and we find out it's her mom. I will say like as far as plot twist, I did not see that coming. Of all of the theories that we figured out last time and we were proven right, I was like that was not on my bingo card. So
Yeah.
they got me there. But okay, so now I will ask the question. What do you think? Is it still 3 stars?
I am gonna give it still 3 stars. I still think it was pretty good, but it's not something I would reread again.
Yeah.
But I definitely want to read the second one.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And depending on how the second one goes, it could change the first.
Okay.
Because if the second one is like, oh, look at all these things tying together, then you have to read the first one to get to the good, meaty second one. So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, I think
Because
that's
I want to know
fair.
all this stuff now.
Right. Yep. Yeah, I think that little hook right at the end was like, okay, this is not something that they, you know, was even alluded to throughout the rest of the book. So now I'm like, I got to read the second one to know what the hell's going on with these redheads.
Yeah. Which is totally like, I mean, I feel like the reason the first book was kind of 3 stars for me was just because of there was a lot of like fluff in it. Like it took a long time to get to the meat of the first one. Like
Yeah.
we got halfway and then everything started happening. Which
Yeah.
I mean, you need some of the buildup of the first, but there was a lot of redundancy in like the training scenes.
Yeah.
So, but other than that, and there was a few other things, but I can't remember what they were. I think it was like what I said the first time. But But I feel like 3 stars is still really good for like
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's
sometimes
not
I'm
bad.
sometimes I'm picky.
No, I think that's fair, and I am like I agree. I am intrigued enough to definitely want to read the second. So, um, that let me look because I think isn't that supposed to come out somewhat soon?
I think it's
It's
like June.
Rights of the Starling. Where's the release date? April 7, 2026. The second
That's
book.
not so bad.
No. And Rights of the Starling. Is this I wonder if it's supposed to be a duology or if they think it's going to be a longer story. It doesn't say.
Hmm.
Um,
Usually, well, I don't know.
one thing I will say, so in the beginning of the beginning pages, it puts like books by the author, like other books by and series by the author. I've never read any of Devney Perry's stuff. This is my first for her. But she's written a lot. Like this is a whole last
Oh,
page
I
over
should go
here.
look. Oh,
Like
Jesus.
yeah, take a look and
Let me see if
tell
I've
me if
read
you
any of her other stuff.
yeah.
Because sometimes I just be reading and I don't really pay attention to what else they've done.
Yeah. Because I will say, like, I like her writing style. Like, I don't think it's, too over the top.
Let's see. I don't think I have. None of them are ringing a bell. She has kind of like a smattering of like different, like she does different genres, which is kind of nice.
Yeah, I noticed that too.
I like when they do that. Yeah, I don't think I've read any of hers, but I definitely do want to like read more of hers now. Like
Yeah.
so, I feel like that's good.
Yeah, yeah. Sometimes some authors, it's like, I just don't vibe with their writing style. So I'm like, if that was the case, I probably wouldn't be interested in reading any of her other stuff. But it's not,
Yeah.
I think I appreciate how she writes. So. Okay, so we'll definitely add Rights of the Starling to our list when that comes out. I think the only other thing that ties to it is so the necklace, and we mentioned that last time
Oh
that she's
yeah.
been carrying around. She saw the same symbol on that necklace on Luella's journal. So maybe because like the only way that that necklace could have gotten into King Cross's castle would have been from her mom, right? Like that's the assumption.
Is she
And
the other alchemist?
like that was I was like if this is Luella's journal that she's been doing like all of her alchemy stuff in has that symbol on it, then yeah, did Odessa's mom interact with Luella in her alchemy stuff? Like was she one of the alchemists that
Hmm.
yeah. And maybe like okay, here's a wild take. Maybe she was one of Luella's alchemists, and after all the shit went to hell, she went to Odessa's country. She goes there, meets the king, marries the king. I don't know if she was a sparrow or not. I think it would have meant. I think it would have mentioned it if she was right. Because like I feel
Don't they
like
have to be like traded like that?
that's why I'm not sure because I think it's only like they go in order of like countries, right? So
Mm.
if it wasn't his turn, then maybe she wasn't the sparrow.
Hmm.
But either one way or another, Odessa's mom ends up with King Cross, but she was originally from. Um, she is originally from Tura. Ends up in Quintus, but she was one of Luella's alchemists, which is why she has the necklace. Here's my theory. So she ends up in Quintus and starts her own alchemy, fucking around with stuff, and then ends up herself into a crux.
I wonder if she wanted to use the crux and that's how she got turned, but that's also why the serum works with it.
Maybe. And then
Maybe they were onto something.
because do you think because King Cross actually did like love her, he's has to get into Alisaria because he thinks they might have the cure because he's heard about the Guardian. And so he knows the Guardian if they have a Guardian, then maybe they have a cure, and if he can find a cure, he can cure his wife.
Yeah, maybe. And the only way he could get his wife is if he's like, oh, well, our thing next is the Sparrow would be my daughter, so I'll just quickly have another kid, and I can raise her to be this, like, mercenary assassin thingy, and my other daughter I will protect and keep her in the dark.
Hey, that would make sense because he's kind of been trying to hide Odessa this whole time, right? Like playing her down,
Hmm.
like covering her hair, like making her like not recognizable. And yeah, maybe he then married Margot and had been bringing her sister up as this mercenary, like to go and be his spy because she's expendable and he could send her out on this mission, train her really well so she'll succeed, but if she didn't succeed, well, no big deal, it's not my actual
Daughter.
daughter.
The one I
The one
really
I
love.
care about. Yeah. So hey, we might be
But then
onto
he was
something.
so but then he was so okay with sending her away too.
Yeah, I took that as like, he feel like he didn't have a choice, so then he had to just like really quickly give her the rundown. He didn't fight very hard though, you're right.
Yeah.
I don't
He
know.
was like, okay. Suspicious.
I don't know. That's my theory. Maybe she turned herself into the crux.
Yeah. She was also an alchemist.
Yeah, there we go. We're going to save that one for next time.
We figured it out. Book
We
two.
actually don't need to read the second book.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to be starting some new books now that we finish Shield of Sparrow. Next week, we will finish up the last half of Mate by Allie Hazelwood. But then we'll be starting some new books. We will be picking up the week after with In the Veins of the Drowning by Callie Cassidy. Very excited for this one. And then after Mate, we will be reading Leave Me Behind by K.M. Moranova. I'm sorry, but
Yeah.
this cover just, I love it. But we'll come back to that after our next episode when we wrap up Mate. But for the week after, starting In the Veins of the Drowning, I'll go ahead and read a little bit about this one. Um, Tell me again. Okay, so you suggested this one. Tell me again. Have you read stuff by her,
I haven't.
or is this?
It would
No.
just
Okay.
popped up on my, ooh, I suggest this for you. So
Yeah. Okay.
that's
I am. I don't read. I've never read anything about sirens, so I'm excited. Here we go. The monster is always slain. Imogen Nell is in hiding, hiding from a cruel kingdom that believes sirens are monstrous, blood-hungry creatures. Hiding from a king and his captain who viciously hunt her kind. Hiding from her own alluring abilities. By keeping herself from the sea, Imogen's bloodlust is dulled, and her black wings remain concealed beneath her skin. When a neighboring king comes to visit, Imogen can no longer hide. He knows precisely what she is, and he believes she can save their kingdoms from an even greater monster. But Imogen's power threatens to violently reveal itself, and the two form a blood bond that protects them both. They flee together, traversing waters teeming with the undead. As the lines between duty to their people and desire for each other begin to blur, Imogen worries her ancestral powers may not be enough to kill what hunts her. The only way to defeat a monster may be to become one herself. Okay. That isn't that sounds a little similar. No, I'm excited. I didn't know sirens had wings. There you go.
I think that's like in
Well,
let me
I
look it
know
up really quick.
like an actual sirens in Greek mythology were not fish people; they were bird people. Like they were bird women.
Yeah.
But this one seems like it's still like water. So maybe it's both.
Let's see. They can be beautiful women with bird legs and wings, or a more modern depiction shows them as mermaids. Human torso, bird legs, wings are mermaid-like. So I wonder if she's like a mixture.
Yeah.
Because also because I love siren stories, there's also one by, it's like a series by, Helen Schurer, and hers, the sirens, oh, never mind, I can't, never mind. It would
Oh,
be a
is it a
spoiler.
spoil?
Never mind. Never Never
Oh,
mind.
okay.
I didn't say a thing.
Skirt.
Because I don't know if you'll ever want to read it, but it's good. It's like five
Well,
books
I
and it's a slow
probably.
burn. Yeah.
Ah, nice. I probably will. So don't spoil it. Never mind.
Okay, yeah. I won't tell
um,
you.
okay.
It's so
No,
good.
but okay. But so in book news, speaking of not really sirens, but it makes me think of my favorite series, The Ever King. Um, isn't L.J. Andrews releasing a novella?
I
Hang
think
on,
so.
I swear I saw that and I
Yep.
sent that to you, I think. So,
Yes, it was like
in case you're new here, my favorite ever series, my favorite author, L.J. Andrews, she writes The Ever King and The Broken Kingdoms series. We'll have to like do a deep dive through that sometime where we just like go on about the whole series, but
I th
um
I feel like we could totally do like a background reading where we like read those, reread them, and like have like a small portion of like 10 to 15 minutes of being like, so we've reread this part and blah 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 blah. Like, you know what I mean?
oh my
Like just
god.
little fun
Yes. Yes, I love it.
because I just love
'Cause yeah,
them.
it's so good and it's absolutely reread worthy. So, um but yeah, she is releasing a short like or a novella. From what I remember, it's supposed to take place between it's like two stories in one. One of them takes place in the world of the Ever King, in the Broken Kingdoms in that world, and then the other short takes place in the world of her new series, Broken Souls and Bones. So it takes place in that world, and like both of them are like little short stories that are together in the same book. So, anyways,
My
that's exciting, and we should definitely do a deep dive.
we sh we should cuz the twins, the one of them got like married Scotty. Scott, I think that's her name. And what's
Yes,
the other
yep.
twin's name that didn't get married? What's his name?
Sanders. Jonas married
Sanders.
Scotty, whatever. I don't know how you pronounce her name. I've never said it out loud.
Me
Jonas married
neither. Just
her, and then, yeah, and then Sanders is the other one.
I he's my favorite. And
He's
like I
great.
want to know. I feel like he's going to end up with like she's the Bone Kingdom queen now. Like her father was terrible and like they made her queen or something. Is that I don't remember totally what kingdom it or like sub kingdom it was of the seas.
Yeah, what was
Do you
it?
remember her? But she like they made
Yeah.
her like whatever. And I feel like because like Sanders is very much like loves to read and all this kind of stuff, and I feel like she's doing a lot with that kind of stuff. They'll be together, or it's gonna be is his name Gavin?
Yeah. That's her. Wait, that's her brother. So are you talking about? So you're not? Are you talking about the one from the Ever King's crew? Um, shit. Why can't I remember her name? Celine?
Not her,
That's not it.
not her. There's a different girl. Her father. It was when they first came to one of the Ever King's like places, and the people were like dying or something. They needed something from
Oh,
him, and
yeah.
they wouldn't let the daughter talk. I feel like
Yes.
he's gonna end up with her,
Okay.
100%. But if not,
Love
then I
it.
was kind of getting like because in one of the like bonus end scenes, she leaves it very vague, like oh they're mates. Then she never says who or specify he or her. So I'm like,
Okay.
is Gavin gonna be with Sanders or is because he tags along on stuff, is he gonna end up with that queen? So I
If
feel like that'd be really
Gavin,
cute.
what if what if Gavin and Sanders are fated? Oh my God. I
I
never
know,
considered
right?
that
That's what
until
I
right now.
because it's like it would tie them in together, you know,
Yeah.
and like because Jonas is part of the sea now or whatever because
Yes.
his queen wife.
Yeah, well and she's so so yeah, it's we have the Elfin Kingdom tied to the Alvers uh through Jonas, yeah. And then we've got with Livy and Eric, that's the seas and the whatever, the Fey Kingdom are tied together. So I don't know. I love it. I love it.
Well,
And this
cause
series has
like
my
I was
like
just,
it's just oh, she's
it's
so
so
good.
good, and I just feel like she never mentions Sanders and like anyone. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Yep.
Or he never even like in Jonas's story references him liking anybody or
Right.
anything. So that's why I'm just like it could either be this Gavin guy or it could be that girl. Or maybe it's someone we haven't even met. It's a completely different story. Who knows? But
Yeah.
that was
Yeah.
just like,
Because of all of the kids, right? I mean, without it being like Livy's baby brother, right? Of all of the like the children of all of the original couples, right? Sanders is like the only one that isn't with someone else, right? Because Liv, obviously, with Eric, Jonas with Skady,
then there's that boy that
Allie's,
someone took in. Remember?
yes,
The Sun King
yes,
and
Sol and Tor's son.
I
What
don't
is
remember his name,
his name?
but he went off to be a raven, and I'm pretty sure he found his mate out there because they
Yeah,
kind of mentioned that, but we don't know who he
yeah,
is.
that's right. And then Callista. Well, so Callista then has a baby, but he's like, isn't their baby like Liv's brother's age? Like they're kind of the younger generation. So I don't
Yeah,
think that they're gonna.
so
I
we
don't know
wouldn't
that
be.
she's gonna go with
No.
those. But then Sanders is the only one that doesn't have anybody because oh my gosh, Ari. I was blanking on his name. Ari,
Yeah.
um, his daughter and Eric's cousin are the two in this new book
Yeah.
that's coming out next
Heart
year,
heart talker.
which we 100 heart talker 100% we have to do. Okay, we have to do a deep dive of the whole series up until this point and then do that
So then we
and
can.
then do that
Yes.
book
Yes.
uh,
We need to start now. First, Broken
now.
Kingdoms, book one. We have to start reading them now so that
Oh my
because it's
god,
next fall, right?
I think so. Let me look.
Yeah.
I'm
We should
the
double
way
check.
the way I'm so excited for that for that
I
book.
love rereading these, and I haven't done a reread in a hot minute. Not since the
Yeah.
beginning of the year, so I'm like, it's about time.
Oh my gosh. And then have you read the Broken Kingdom or the Broken Souls? I keep having to look at
Not
the
yet.
title. No, okay. It is very good.
I will. I'll read it. But yeah, so that's what I think. But I also feel like Saunders is going to be with that girl because I feel like they wouldn't have introduced her, made her a queen, just for her to not end up with. I feel like she's going to end up with someone who. I
Yeah.
don't feel like they're going to not have all the siblings be like a royal. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
they all marry royalty, so I feel like Saunders is going to end up with her for some reason.
Well, and then she's not technically a queen. She's like the lord of the house, right? Because that's what he was. He was a
Yeah,
lord
something like
under the Ever King. So that yeah,
yeah, something
it
like
could be that she's the lord of the house and or of the
I just feel like that'd be really cool because I really liked her as a character, and I thought she was really awesome.
yeah, she was great. I was like trying to find the Stolen Crown. Okay, it's called The Stolen Crown and it comes out fall of 2026. So,
Okay, so we have to start reading now because how many books are there up until that point? The Broken
um
Kingdom has
there's 9
9,
books in the Broken Kingdom. 9 books in the Broken right here. Let's count them.
and then there's
1,
3
2.
of the Ever King. So,
Yes.
so
We
that's 12.
yeah.
So we
So,
have
we
to
could do
read more
that.
than one book. Yeah, we could totally do that.
Easy. That's
Easy peasy.
a light snack.
I like snack. So we have to like read 2 books a month.
Yeah, we can do that. Easy.
Yeah, I could easily.
We can
I'll,
okay,
I'll
so
finish them by December.
okay, so that's gonna be exclusive content. We're gonna have an extra little bonus section where we're gonna deep dive and go through the whole Broken
Yeah.
Kingdom series in
Yes.
anticipation of the Stolen Crown coming out in fall
I'm so
2026.
freaking excited for this.
And LJ Andrews, if you want to send us your book, we would love to talk about
I
it
would totally love
because
that.
I'm your biggest
Yeah.
fangirl. So,
Yeah. Such good shit. Oh my god.
okay.
I'm literally
Um,
gonna read that tonight. I'm gonna start book 1 tonight.
Yes. Yes. Okay, we'll figure that schedule out. But okay, so done with Shield of Sparrows. A solid 3 stars. We loved it.
Yeah.
Um, And then, yeah, next week we're going to wrap up Mate. Excited to talk about that one. And then for the week after, we're going to hop into the Veins of the Drowning, first half of that book. So tune in for that. All right.
Woohoo.
Bye, guys.
No.
Please like, subscribe, and tune in on Wednesdays for new episodes. And check us out on YouTube for the video of this episode if you'd care to see our faces. We want to hear from you. Join the discussion in the comments below or join the club on Patreon to engage with other members and get exclusive benefits. How are you liking the book so far? Leave your thoughts, predictions, and theories, and you just might hear them on our next episode. Thanks for listening.